if you got a woman's ministry and you devoid of these specific topics that the book tells you to teach, I'm saying, what's your motivation for even doing it? That's my whole point. So,
comment. But like about women and teaching, if you look at all the women ministries you see today, any part of the world, you would notice that 99.99% of their ministry are women, and usually what they seem to teach, even though they say it's biblical, is basically to stay away from the men, to kind of put the men out of the picture.
That's what they're teaching?
You look at all of them. When you look at all of them, and I used to look at a lot of them, right? But basically, that's what it's like. The women, there was hardly any men there because it's a sisterhood.
That's
what it is.
In general, though.
Yeah, it's a sisterhood. You know, where they're preaching like by women for women. So everything they preach, they're not.
Well, I mean, that's even when you talk about male false prophets, they basically cater it to a female audience.
Yeah.
Because we live in a matriarchal society, so everything is basically catering to women at this point. So, like I said, what's important is that we get the word. We get the word from the Bible. You got people teach. It's the same here. Here you go. It's the same for Gentiles. You got Gentiles coming into the word, right?
Yeah.
The Gentile men coming into the word. They come to church and all of that. They meet people. They might be some Israelites who don't know the word. They might dispense the word to them and start teaching the word to them. But ultimately, they will encourage them to learn from the priests. And they themselves will learn from the priests. And even if they start dealing with these people, they still under the protocol of the priests, which you're talking physical Israelites.
Yeah.
So there's an order there, period. Like when you look at Timothy and Titus, where they getting their information from? They getting it from Paul.
Yeah.
They're getting it from Paul. They completely locked in to the church at Jerusalem. They completely locked in to Israel. Right? And then Paul tells the Romans in, I believe it's Romans 10 or 11, don't go off and try to do your own thing. Don't boast against the branches. Don't think that the branches are done away with and you can just go do it. So that you talking about some able-bodied men. Why can't they do it? Because the Lord got a protocol. So it's the same thing. He has an order. You got to either love the order or not. So that's why when he talk about Cornelius, he talking about somebody that's devout, that prayed to God, that did alms. There was another Gentile, they said, that came to Jesus. He wanted him to heal the servant. They said, he built us a synagogue in Acts. The Jews said, you should do that for him. He's of good report, for he buildeth us a synagogue. So that's what I'm saying. If you really love what God got set up, you're going to support his. So it's the same for men and women. As much as we as black, trying to resurge the church of God, we need the support and the encouragement of our women. We don't need to be fighting our women for this position. Any young brother come here, everybody needs to get behind him and encourage him to step up. So, any other questions?
There was a question online.
Oh, okay.
It was, what's the difference between a vow and an oath?
Basically the same thing.
I know. I looked quickly I think there's definition
in the Bible dictionary. Okay. Let's see what it says.
Or you want to see vow or oath first?
You can't break either of them, so.
Right.
What are we doing first, vow or the oath?
Yeah, you can read vow and you read oath.
They don't have the word vow in it. Yeah, they don't have vow. Oh yeah, they do. Sorry. A voluntary promise to God to perform some service or do something pleasing to Him in return for some hope for benefits.
Okay. Does it have oath? Here.
Okay, so let's hit it. Okay, a solemn appeal to God, a person or an object to witness the truth of a statement or of the binding character of a promise.
So an oath is a promise, and a vow is, what do you say? A vow is a voluntary.
A divine something.
Instead of
God.
voluntary.
Looking for benefits. A voluntary promise to God to perform some
Oath is a
service.
promise, and vow is a voluntary promise. They basically the same. Yeah, they basically the same.
There you go, brother.
That's
The hopeful to ask that question. You got any other questions?
I have a question. The covenant given to Abraham in Genesis 15:18 for the possession of the land, the borders, for the borders of that land. So that's the land pertaining to the Millennium Kingdom.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
So now I was searching on some maps last night, and the borders mentioned in
Ezekiel 44.
47. Yeah. The borders mentioned in Ezekiel 47. That's for the Millennium Kingdom as well. Is that correct?
That's the promise. Yeah.
So because on the maps, there's the map according to Genesis 15. So from the Euphrates to the Egypt River, the Nile River, which is quite large, and then when they mapped it out, when they mapped the one in Ezekiel 47, it was more in line with what Moses gave out, which is, it's a lot slimmer, like similar to what Israel is as we know it today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So why, like, I don't know.
What's the difference? You talking about the?
Yeah. What's the difference?
No, I'm saying, what was the Genesis with what?
So Genesis 15:18, basically Genesis 15:18 shows a larger boundary than in Ezekiel 47.
From the Egypt River to the Euphrates?
Yeah.
That's larger than
Ezekiel 47. And mind you, this was just me going on Google and going to Google Images and seeing all the different depictions.
Where's hold on, let's see. The border. From the Great Sea. You're talking about 47, 15 through 20?
Yeah, 15, yeah, correct. Thing is, the only thing that I can think of is Ezekiel 47. This is just pertaining to Israel and the strangers that take part in the inheritance, and then whatever's outside of that belongs to, I guess, everybody else, or how does?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I just know that Ezekiel 47, I know that Genesis, was it 15?
Yeah, 15.
15, 18.
Genesis 15,
18.
This, 18 looks like the totality of the land, and then
Right.
it says Ezekiel 47. "13 says, "This shall be the border whereby ye shall inherit the land according to the 12 tribes of Israel."
Right, so that's only.
So this looks like the division of that land between the 12 tribes.
Right. Okay. Because the way they showed it, when they take this and they map it out, it's a lot small. It's still land within the same borders mentioned in Genesis, but there's still a lot more land to be filled up.
Mm-hmm.
So who does that, like who takes that? Who takes up the rest of the boundary outside of?
Yeah, you just talking about how. So basically, the question you're asking is, if the inheritance is this big, why is it being divided like this?
Correct.
I can't really answer that question.
Okay.
But I mean, that's really the question. I can't answer that question.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
Why the Lord is dividing it like that, and what the ancillary land is for, I don't know. But it's clear that in the promise, that's
what
He's promised, and this is what the division is. Why it is, I don't know. Any other questions? No, was there anything else on? Were they even able to ask questions online?
Yeah, but that's the thing. When it was one of the earlier, the first things that was up, yeah, they asked that question.
Any other questions? Questions going once? Questions going twice? Okay, we're going to stand in case Jerusalem and close out. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. All right.
Here might be an industrial setting too. The industrial lock set up different.
I was
supposed to be paying the tithes. Say what I do. So the one can have an echo on the stamp. Budget.